Today I am here to talk with you about mindset, and I'm very glad that you've been able to join me. And in my book, Conquering Arthritis, I've got a whole chapter on meditation and how I use that to heal from arthritis. But the fact is, it's actually hard to learn how to meditate from a book, and it's relatively easy to learn from a guided meditation. So I've created CDs that help walk you through the steps. And what I'll be doing today is just talking about the mindset behind each of these healing meditations and what that involves to kind of demystify what the steps are. So the first CD I have is an introduction, and it will guide you through all the basics. We talked in the last video about posture. I tell you some stories about how this has worked to heal. And I give you just general background to help you know exactly how to get started, even if you've never meditated before. The next CD is a Tonglen meditation, and for me this was the first type of meditation that ever gave me pain relief, and it was magical. I started using it at night when I was in too much pain to sleep. And I often felt like somebody had dumped a load of bricks on my body. I just felt all bruised and hurt, and I'd be so exhausted, but I'd be in too much pain to sleep. And when I could actually get this meditation down, and at first maybe I might only do it for 20 seconds or 30 seconds, but it would be miraculous. 1 minute I'd just be wanting to scream in pain, and the next I would have such profound pain relief that I really couldn't even understand what happened. And the basic mindset for this, Tonglen, is something called giving and receiving. And I've got my theories about why it works, and it's this, that mostly when somebody is in extreme pain, they close down and their world gets kind of small, and that in some sense intensifies the pain. It doesn't really make sense that it would, but it does. And what Tonglen does is it helps you connect to a much larger world, and it does this because the giving and the receiving is, first you receive the pain and you don't block it, and then what you give out is the relief of the pain. And there are many different versions that I go over, and you pick which one is most appropriate for you in that moment. But the simplest is you're just receptive to your own pain, and then you breathe out the remedy for that pain, and it helps break down those barriers where we sometimes don't want to feel the painful parts of ourselves. And in the larger, most expansive sense, you're actually connecting with the pain of everyone in the entire world that's feeling that kind of pain that you're feeling in that moment, and you're breathing that in without reservation. And then what you're breathing out is the remedy for that pain for yourself and everyone else. And that it's not always appropriate to do that because sometimes we're just too closed down or too painful, but in those magical moments where you have that level of generosity, it is profoundly healing. Then the next one is physical pain, and these are Vipassana meditations for this. And the key here is, for any kind of Vipassana meditation, is something called mindfulness and something called equanimity. So with mindfulness, you want to know exactly what is going on with the pain. Like if I have a pain in my shoulder, I want to know how big that pain is. I want to know when it's getting bigger and when it's getting smaller. I want to know exactly where the boundaries are and how they change with time. If it's got something I like to call the flavor of the pain, I want to be mindful of that. Is it stabbing? Is it burning? Is it throbbing? Is it hard? That's the dimension I call flavor. And then the more you can pay attention and just totally be with that, the better. And then the flip face of that is equanimity. So equanimity is sometimes called the radical permission to feel. And what it means is no matter what's happening, you don't make it a problem. And so you almost treat the pain like an organism, like an amoeba. And if the amoeba wants to push out here, you don't stop it from doing that. You actually give it permission to do that. Or if it wants to pull back in, you let it do that. And slowly it becomes a dance of energy. And the more you can have equanimity with the pain and let it do exactly what it wants to do, or sometimes just be still, the more this magic of this technique starts happening. So those are the two mindsets with the Vipassana. And some people think, meditation is all mystical, and it's not. I mean, what I've just explained with Tonglen and Vipassana meditation, it's really pretty simple. But what it does is it retrains in a very deep level your mind, body, spirit. And that's when the profound healing can happen. So I've got several more CDs here, and these are all using the Vipassana techniques. So I explain how to do that with fear and guide you through that, how to do that with anger, how to do that with resentment and bitterness. And usually, sometimes people will have beginner's luck, and right out of the gate they'll have some miraculous change with meditation. But for most people, even people that have success early on, the real magic comes as you do this day after day, year after year, and these profound small changes happen and they accumulate, and you end up being a different person. And what used to be hard pain becomes an empowering flow of energy that actually makes your life joyful and happy, and gives you the energy to do the things that you love doing. And I know that may sound like science fiction right now to some of you, but it is the possibility of what can happen if you're willing to work with yourself in these profound ways. Thank you for joining me here today.